Do you ever worry about like your safety on these rides? I mean, you ride so many roller coasters, the chance of you getting hurt on one is probably greater than most people.
I feel overall confident that I'll survive the ride. But you hear all the time on the news that, you know, a person got killed on this roller coaster, on that. A majority of these accidents and deaths occur because of rider error, not operator error. They put you in these harnesses and they lock you in, and what happens is when the ride starts, people want to get more of a thrill, and they take their arms out of the harness thinking that they get more freedom and it feels like they're flying. They don't realize the amount of G-force that these rides create, that these harnesses are there for a reason. When they're not put on, these people, like when they go on these loops, they fall right out.
We barely fit in the car as it is. I think we're wedged in even without to start.
The reason I have a cooler in the back seat, I keep the butter in there so I can butter my hips to get out of this car.
Is there really butter in there?
There's a stick of Land O'Lakes if you're interested. The thing that makes this road trip unique, if all these theme parks were within 10 miles of each other, anybody could do this. Because they are so far apart and spread out throughout the whole country, it gives it more of a challenge and more of a mission to do it. There are states in this country I would never ever venture, even think of venturing into. The only reason going there is because there are theme parks in them. For example, because there is a Six Flags there, I'll go and trek out there just to say I went there.
You think they don't want us there, or you think they have? How do we get them to come? We will build this big thing that drops down and fat people will get on it.
Well, yeah, exactly.
So how many Six Flags have you been to?
This will be number 5, I think, or number 4. Plus we got another Six Flags to go to in Ohio.
Do you think you'll ever hit all the Six Flags?
I doubt it. They're spread out way too far. As of today, I've been to the majority of all the Six Flags coasters in this country.
I thought you said that was impossible.
I thought so too, but I didn't realize how much spare time I actually did have.
So where'd you go?
Oh, where did I go? I went to Six Flags Massachusetts, Six Flags New Jersey, Maryland, Atlanta, San Antonio, Texas, Arlington, Texas, Kentucky, Chicago, Ohio. I've even driven all the way to Toronto, Canada, Virginia, California, pretty much you name it, and I've been there. I think that's part of the quest, is to, even though it's so far, it's to prove the dedication that you're willing to go that far out of your way to get this thrill, to get this high you get when you go on a ride that you've never experienced.
Sounds great, Mike, but there's one stat you forgot. Can we roll that tape, please? Number of girls met on trip? 0. At number 4, we have Superman, Krypton Coaster. You'll find more rolls on this thing than at your favorite sushi bar. And the huge 110-degree loop will allow you to look at your own ass, so you can see just where the sushi is going. Number 3 brings a son of beast, a tremendous mountain of wood. There's more wood here than the New York Knicks locker room when a female reporter comes in for a post-game wrap-up. It's the only wooden roller coaster with a loop, and would easily be our top wooden coaster if not for number 2. The Ghost Rider. Located in California's Knott's Berry Farm. The only thing that'll be in knots are your testicles after that first big drop. This ride is sure to reacquaint you with an old friend that day, breakfast.
You've basically driven thousands of miles at this point.
Yes.
Thousands. And it doesn't bother you?
Not really. It gets a little monotonous, you know, looking at the same scenery all the time, but it's a good time to just relax and think about things, and it's really not that hard.
I'm tired of the music, I'm tired of driving, I'm just tired in general. Pennsylvania is a big-ass state. You're getting a good view of how boring this ride is.
I can't wait to go home, finally go to sleep in my own bed.
We got 130 more miles left before we get to this stupid theme park. My ankles, for some reason, they got swollen. But after about 3 hours of driving like barefoot, I looked down and I had crazy cankles. You know, you didn't know where the calf ended and the ankle began. I tell you this much, for all this driving, these roller coasters better be great. What the Guys gotta be right on my ass, right? Asshole, you had to pass me. Now you're not gonna pass me, you dick.
Alright, I'm going 85 miles an hour, not fast enough, you dick. That's right, stare at me. Come on. Hey, how you doing?
Now I see where road rage kicks in. You realize that people are stupid. There's just nothing to look at. And you get so freaking bored, you end up talking to yourself. There's only two places in life where you can have total concentration and nobody bothers you. When you're on the crapper and when you're driving the car by yourself. Dukes of Hazzard. There's a show that was the same episode every week. But, you know, I don't know. Baby, 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 oh baby, I love you. About 85% of this vacation is what you're seeing right now. Is staring out a glass, dirty, a bug-filled window. Just this heat is tremendous. Whew.
Oh, it's too hot, baby. Gotta run for shelter.
It's hot as out here. Right now I feel like a colorform. I'm stuck to this chair. You have to peel me off. I've got this sweet glazing of my skin.
Hot. No mas, no mas.
It's so freaking hot. Look what you're missing, sitting in a car for 12 hours.
Hot.
Sound like a whining bitch. This road trip sounded good on paper. I'll tell you this much, at the end of this trip, I'm gonna have to probably go see some counseling, I think.
I think you're going to be really impressed by this ride. It's probably going to scare the bejesus out of you, but it's going to be the best ride you've ever had.
Excited to go to Cedar Point again.
We're going on the coaster that is, you can see it from here, dude. Look at the size of that thing. Bam!
Wow.
That's pretty big, huh? It's so tall, it's got an airplane light on it.
It's got "We Are Gonna Die" written all over it. It doesn't even look like a coaster, it just looks like a mistake.
Ladies and gentlemen, the #1 ride is also North America's tallest and fastest. I give you Millennium Force. Be sure to bring 2 changes of underwear for this one. One for the line, the other for the ride. You start off by soaring down a mind-numbing 310-foot drop. That is so long, you can scream your lungs out, reload, and scream again, all before finishing the first incline. Reaching speeds of 94 miles an hour, people have been known to lose eyebrows and lips off this thing. This ride provides maximum ass-kicking and is a unique, not-to-be-missed experience.
It's pretty amazing. I'll tell you, this is what I think of it. I don't know if you can say this, but I'm like
Alright, I'm gonna zoom in.
I'm like a sweaty son of a bitch right now.
Is that excitement sweat?
That's excitement sweat. That is, I think I broke my water.
What did you think of the initial drop?
The initial drop, it's like, you know, most of the time you go up and then you look down, you see the track ahead of you. This thing, like, it looks like it curls in, like you're literally falling. You don't even see the car behind you. You don't see the car in front of you. You don't see the track. You don't see anything. You're just literally dropping like a stone.
There are a bunch of cool coasters out there. Like one of the best ones I went on was Batwing. And it's pretty wild. They sit you in a chair normally, like you would in a regular coaster. Then all of a sudden they lay you on your back, and they take you up to the top, and then they turn you 180 degrees, and you're facing down, and you're hanging from your shoulders and your legs. And you go down at 60 miles an hour, hanging and flying as if you were like Superman. It's one of the best feelings, and it's the craziest ride I've ever been on. I think it's just the tip of the iceberg of what these rides are going to be like in the future. In fact, there are some rides that are being built right now as we speak that are going to break all the limitations of normal rides. You're going to see these things do things that you never saw before. From rotating freely to breaking new speed barriers and different heights. I mean, it's basically limitless.
And now
Yeah, people say I'm crazy. I'm a freak for doing all this. And you know what? They're right. But I'm glad I did it anyway. The longer it went on, the harder it got, and by the end, I couldn't stand being on the road, going to another park, having to ride another coaster. But now it's over. I miss being on the quest, conquering every big drop, every loop, corkscrew, and bunny hop. So now it's time for me to move on and find my next adventure, wherever it may be.